What's going on, everybody? Welcome to week 3 of the Mind Gains podcast. My name is Vinny. Today I'm here with
Jay. Another week, another productivity hack that we can give you guys. I'm absolutely stoked to be here once again, bro. Bro, it's always good talking to you, bro. I feel like we could talk for hours. It's no problem, bro.
we could have kept going last week and we had to be like, yo, it's been an hour. We got to shut it down.
Yeah, we had to shut it down because we 3 hours in and we would be fine, bro. But we're glad to be back week 3. We have some exciting things to talk about today.
Yeah,
if you want to introduce our topic, bro, that'd be fantastic.
Yeah, so last week we kind of talked about some specific, database things that you could use to grow a business. Today we're just going to talk about how to surround yourself in an environment that will allow you to grow, not just as an entrepreneur, but as a person overall, because our potential is only as high as our environment will allow us to go. What's the analogy that if you put a shark in a small bowl, he'll only grow to the size of a bowl, but if he's in the ocean, he could become
limitless.
A monster.
Yeah. Absolutely. Yeah. So you're only as great as your environment, and that's exactly what we're going to be talking about today. It's important who you surround yourself with. It's important the type of things that you do on a regular basis, because these turn into habits, and these habits are going to determine the type of person that you're going to become or that are becoming. And like they say, bro, you can look at someone's habits, the things that they do on a regular basis, and you can tell where they're going to be in 5 years.
Yeah.
If someone is not really thriving to be better overall as a person, you're going to be able to tell in 5 years, right? So
for sure.
We'll talk a little bit about that, what it's like to be surrounded by the right people, by the right environment, and kind of our past too, bro, because I know sometimes it seems like, oh yeah, we've always had this lifestyle, but that's not true, bro. There was a moment in time where even ourselves, we were doing, things that most of our generation does, which isn't, 100% productive. It wasn't 100% productive, and we kind of learned to steer ourselves away from that because we don't want to be like 99% of the people around us.
For sure, yeah.
Yeah, definitely, bro.
Yeah, I mean, I guess we could start there, from high school in 2020 graduating to now. What did your friend group look like then? What does your friend group look like now? Let's not drop any specific names, but just give a general idea of how that shifted.
Yeah, well, as Vinny knows, back in high school, my senior year was a blast, bro. I loved senior year, and the reason I loved it was because 2 reasons. One, I didn't have to take any core classes except for that one class that I will not mention his name, that teacher loved me, and I'm being sarcastic, he hated me. But no, I only had to take one core class and the rest were just kind of electives. So I had an Avid class, I had a Plus class, I was TA for 2 teachers. I really didn't do much during my day. It was towards the end of the day where I actually had to do something productive. But the second reason was because I actually was so well known, bro, by everybody. Not to the point where it's overwhelming, but it was to the point where it's everybody knew who I was. And everybody knew me back then as JP. Yeah. Oh, that's JP, that's JP. And I would distinguish how to tell my friends from the people that actually kind of just knew me by the way they would talk to me. People that knew me, they knew me as Josh. Mm-hmm. Yo, Josh, what are we doing, bro? If someone came up to me and said, oh, yo, JP, I already knew, bro. I already knew something else. So my friend group back then, although it was a lot bigger, these were people that I was seeing on a regular basis, bro. I was a kid. I wasn't really thinking too much about, the future. Although that's one thing I would think, or I would hope that I would have done earlier, bro. If I would have focused and honed in on becoming a little bit more productive. But that's okay. We learn, we live, we learn, whatever. Back then, I was surrounded by people that weren't serious, for sure, bro. They just, it was just people for fun. I was just kind of living my life. Mm-hmm. It was mostly for fun and giggles. So, and now, compared to now, I think I have very limited. I can count all my friends in my fingers, bro, my one hand. I don't have too many friends. Yeah. But I think that they're useful friends. As much as they're useful to me, I'm useful to them.
What do you consider a friendship? Because obviously we both have countless acquaintances, people if we see in public, it's yo, bro, how you been? It's been a minute. Yeah. But what do you consider a friend? How you distinguish a friend from an acquaintance to a close friend?
Perfect. Yeah. So I think a friend could either be categorized into 2 places, either a seasonal friend or a lifetime friend. I would consider you a lifetime friend because I've known you for a decade now, and you're someone that's super close to me. We have similar goals, we have similar motives, and we kind of push each other to be better on a regular basis. A friend is someone that you can count on regardless of the situation you are in. And you you shouldn't expect anything from your friends. I think that if they're good friends, they're going to do it for you regardless. You don't have to ask them to do something for you. They're going to do it, bro, regardless, because they're your friend, right? And it's not like, oh yeah, well he does this for me and I do this for him, and you're keeping kind of score of a friend. Like you don't keep scores in a friendship. It's like, bro, you do some things for me, I do some things for you. That's what a true friendship is to me, at least.
Yeah, that's for sure what we have.
Like,
I can count on this guy for anything, bro. Something random.
Same for you, bro.
Like,
Same for you.
Call this guy in the middle of the day. Hey, bro, I'm not home. Could you feed my dogs for me? This guy's on it.
I'm on it.
Yeah.
I'm on it. So I think that's important, bro, to be able to have friends that you can count on. Someone that you can count on is definitely a friend. But going back to the seasonal and lifetime and even just moment, like you said, we have had a lot of acquaintances, and we still do. Yeah. Like you mentioned, we come across a lot of people that we know, and we don't have a problem with them. Like we knew them, we talked to them for even if it was a moment, and they were acquaintances for the moment, for the time we met them. But I wouldn't consider them a seasonal or even a lifetime friend. They're just acquaintances. So that's my differential. But tell me what your definition of friendship is.
Well, I think you nailed it. There's not much really I could add to it other than more questions. I guess I kind of want to say, you answered like friends don't keep score, and I think that's where a lot of modern friendships or people in our generation get it wrong, is just having expectations for each other.
Right.
So what's your expectation as a friend? Because for me, why I struggle to have friends is because we have a good relationship because we have similar goals. We understand each other. We both know that we're locked in. Like, Jay's not going to call me up and be like, hey, bro, let's go watch a movie or let's go to the arcade or something. He knows I don't want to do that. I know he doesn't want to do that.
Let's go bowling.
We're not going to hold it against each other because of that. I think a grown man demanding another grown man to spend time with them is crazy. And I see that's how a lot of friendships are. And if one person's not getting that, that's how they fall apart. But I just see a friendship as, we've gone like months without talking to each other, but when we see each other again, it's still all love. We know if we call each other at any second, then we're there for each other. So I think that's what a true friendship is, just understanding each other. I'm respecting each other's boundaries, understanding that life gets busy, but at the end of the day, you still got each other's back no matter what.
100%. And I want to go back to the expectations thing. I'm going to push back on your idea of expectations, because I don't think I have any expectations for the people that I consider friends. But I know that they have standards.
For sure.
So there's a difference between having expectations and having standards for your friends. That's something that I have for you. Like, I have standards. I would not, like, if I came to your house, bro, and you were, I don't know, throwing a party, I would be concerned. I would be like, what's wrong with Vinny? Who poisoned Vinny? This is not Vinny. What is going on here? We need to get to the bottom of this. And it's just a standard that I hold you to, and it's the same standard that you hold me to. And I think that's why we have such a really good friendship, because the standards.
But it's my birthday, Josh. I can't throw a party.
No, you can't. I mean, you can, bro. I'm not saying that you should never throw a party or anything like that. But, but what I am saying is that there are certain standards that we have for each other that not only keep us winning, but also keep us from doing stupid stuff. From doing things that we shouldn't be doing.
For sure.
If you called me up and I was like, yo, bro, I'm drinking over here with my friends, I would hope that you'd be like, Josh, what are you doing, bro? This is not Josh. Who took my Josh? What the fuck? You know what I'm saying? So, that's fuck. My bad. But that's what I'm saying.
Like, good. Neither of us drink. Neither of us smoke. So.
Expectations are not the same thing as standards, but we have standards for each other.
For sure.
And I think that's what keeps our friendship strong. Keeping each other accountable for the things that we are doing with our life, and just kind of having the same direction, bro. Yeah. So, I mean, I'm sure that answers that question.
For sure. How hard is it to find friends with the path that we're on?
It's hard. It's freaking difficult. Well,
you think that's just up here, or you think that's our age bracket in general?
Well, I think it's a generation thing too, bro. I don't think Dana White, and I know this is random, but Dana White worded it so perfectly. He was like, there's going to be a difference between people that absolutely run over their entire generation that actually want it, and there's going to be people that they're going to get ran over by people that are actually doing something with their life. And it's the unfortunate truth, bro, because most people cherish the weekends to go to parties, drink, spend time, go bowling, movies all the time, doing things that aren't going to lead to productivity and aren't going to feed to your future. So when I look at that, it's very difficult to find friends in our generational group. I think that I have a better chance, and this is kind of 50-50. Sometimes I have a better chance of making friends that are older than me because I feel like they're a little bit more mature. They kind of understand. They've been through the whole process of what we call life, and they know that they have priorities. So it's kind of a generational thing. I would say that most of our generation, they don't have priorities, unfortunately. And so that makes it super difficult? I mean, maybe it's just for me, bro, but like for you, like, is it easy for you to find friends, people that you can genuinely count on?
Definitely not. But I want to ask you, how do you feel about the idea of, oh, you're only 20 once. Shouldn't you try to experience all that's so great about being 23, 24?
I'm not saying you shouldn't have fun, bro, but you're only going to be 20 once, and I could reframe the question and say the same thing. You're only going to be 20 once. What are you building for your 30s?
Yeah, no, I was going to add to that too, because we're at our peak testosterone levels, peak energy, peak physical condition. So we could be using that to build something that when we're 40 and we're washed up, don't have that drive anymore, we don't have to be busting our ass every single day to build something that's already built.
That's exactly true. We're kind of... This is we're not going to see this for a few years. We're not going to see the work that we put in for a few years, but when we do see it, we're going to see it in its entirety. And the people that, invested their time in not doing things that were productive, they're going to realize that too.
Yeah.
And they're either going to have regrets or they're going to be way behind. And that's something that I don't want to be. I don't want to be super behind in life. Like you said, like I want to turn 35, 40 and be okay. Yeah. I want to be good. I don't want to be... Although I guess the notion is always to be working, doing something productive. I don't want it to be as hard labor-wise for my whole life, bro. Because I'm only going to be strong for so many years. And then I'm going to start blasting testosterone. I'm so serious. Once I live 40, 45, that's when, peak is no longer peak.
Are you going to wait till you're 40, 45?
Of course.
Okay.
So how do you distinguish how to categorize certain people in your life? I literally talked about this not too long ago. I uploaded a video about how some people are in your life for a moment, a season, or a lifetime. How do you categorize this? Have you noticed and experienced people that were only there for a moment or a season? And how do you think that correlates to the entrepreneurial journey?
Yeah, well, I think we all evolve as people. We all change. I think that's a big reason why people will leave your life is because they say you've changed. And I would look at those people and say, well, you haven't. And that's the problem. Because, the friends we had when we were 18, 19, if you haven't matured since then, if you're still doing the same old stuff, still smoking, still drinking, still going to car meets, still doing whatever with your time, if there's no balance there, you're not doing anything to better your life. And, the people... like us as entrepreneurs we are, obviously we're not going to keep those people around.
Right.
There's a lot of people that I thought were lifetime that turned out to just be seasons, and that's fine. I think everyone's in our life for a reason to teach us a specific lesson, even if they don't end up being a lifetime person. I could genuinely say everyone I've had a close friendship with or any kind of relationship with, I've learned something from that's either bettered me as a person or taught me how to treat people better. So... yeah, I'll say that. I think my peak as far as when I had the most people around me was around 2020, 2021 era, like graduating high school, starting college. I used to do YouTube. I used to be big on like sports, entertainment content. And when I was doing that, I had a pretty large group of friends that I would make videos with, play sports, play basketball, etc. I still love all those guys. Like if I ever see them, it's all love. But I think we're all on different paths now. And once I kind of locked in on my professional career, like becoming a trainer, stopped playing basketball, stopped making entertainment videos, I noticed I lost a lot of those people. They stopped hitting me up. I didn't have time to go play basketball, make videos anymore, but there was never just them checking up on me like, hey bro, how are you doing? It's just no, once that me bringing out the camera and everyone getting their moment to shine was gone, it wasn't the same connection anymore. And I don't think those people have anything against me, but at the same time, I think certain people only look at you for what they can get out of you rather than actually caring about you as a person,
That's true, bro.
And that's no diss to anyone specific. It's just in general. I remember having a large group of people around me at the time, and then that slowly shrunk the more serious I began to take my life. So
yeah. And that's unfortunately true, right? The more you focus on what it is that you want out of life, you don't have those generalizations anymore.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So I mean, tying back to moments, seasons, and lifetime, like you, bro, I've had people that I thought were gonna be a lifetime type of person, right?
Yeah.
And I think when we're younger, we have this perception of people being around forever.
Yeah.
Right. And it's not until you lose them where you're like, oh my God, like that's interesting. I didn't expect to lose this person.
Yeah.
But something that I've learned, and I think you can apply this to life or even entrepreneurship as a whole, is when you're able to actually categorize people in the right place, you are kind of better. Well, like you're more. You're less prone to making mistakes and feeling some type of way when this person leaves your life, right? So someone's going to be there for a moment. Maybe there's something that you guys, maybe it's a class, right? You have a class in college and you're both together in that class, and that's not going to be something that's going to be forever, because that class is eventually going to end. Whether you guys decide to grow that friendship outside of that, that's great, or not, but that is just going to be a seasonal thing. Right. Sure. And so when you're able to categorize that, okay, this is just a moment, enjoy, try to learn as much as you can from this person, you're better off with your expectations. So I think that's important.
Yeah, for sure. I would also add that it's very important to have boundaries with friendships. And 100%. Once I grew my own boundaries and standards, a lot of those people that were essentially liabilities looking back started to fall out. I was one of the first people in my friend groups to start driving from a young age. A lot of things, and I always enjoyed doing people favors and not expecting anything in return, but there's only so much you can give.
Yeah.
And then you realize that people only like you because of what you can give. So I don't want to say it turned me cold, because I still think I'm a pretty giving person. I still have that in me, but at the same time, I have enough self-respect now to know when to say no for the most part. There's still some ways I could improve, but compared to who I was in 2020, there's definitely some growth. So that's why that circle has shrunk into pretty much just Josh, my girlfriend, and maybe 2 or 3 other people that I could count on.
How do you protect your time? Talk about that, because for someone like you, bro, you're a busy professional.
Yeah.
So how do you protect your time, especially how do you know who to give your time to? How do you protect that, bro? Because I think that's important as an entrepreneur.
Yeah. Well, family is important. I wish I could give my family more time, but I think that's kind of something I wanted to ask you too, because I know you're a big family guy too, but we both have this discussion that sometimes our families want so much from us and there's only so much we can give, but we're building something right now, so our families could be good forever,
Yeah, exactly.
So I think that's important to have that boundary, but also that understanding with your family, like, do I need this time now? Like, I might have limited time now, but this time that I'm putting in now is to guarantee that we're good later, so we could have time later,
Exactly.
So.
And I think a lot of people don't understand the idea of spending time now doing productive things, so that later on you can spend more time with them.
Delayed gratification.
And I'm glad you brought that up. That's something that we are also missing in our generation. That's another.
Absolutely.
Bro, let's talk about that for a second.
Everyone wants a quick fix.
Absolutely. Everybody wants everything now.
Yeah.
Everything. Oh, I want to have fun now. I want a dopamine max now.
Yeah.
That is cooking us as a generation.
Exactly. More people are doing prize picks than starting businesses.
And it's scary, bro.
Yeah.
Because, you have a lot of people gambling on their future, literally.
Yeah.
Literally gambling on their future, bro. So the delayed gratification thing is also a huge factor in picking out friends. It's hard to pick out friends because not everybody has that factor of the delayed gratification.
Yeah.
And it's hard to find people that are actually honed in on what it is that we're trying to do.
Yeah.
But going back to the time thing, like you said, I'm big on family. I love my family. Mm-hmm. And if I could spend more time with them, I absolutely would. Yeah. But I also understand the boundary of respecting my time, but also other people's time.
For sure. Yeah.
If you don't respect other people's time, you can't expect people to respect your time. Yeah. If you're always late, if you're not on time, if you call people up on inconvenience time, like if I was calling you at 12 p.m., bro, I'm pretty sure you'd be pissed. You're like, bro, what are you doing, bro? Like, respect my time. So when you respect other people's time, people are going to respect your time. And I've kind of had that productivity shift where I can actually protect my time by, it goes back to organization and productivity, but by actually blocking out the times that are necessary for me to build what I'm trying to build, and then blocking out other times for family, friendships, etc. So
yeah, I think that also comes with just growing and maturing as a person overall. When people see that you're building something, they automatically respect your time more. People don't hit me up to do nonsense. No one hits me up to go clubbing. No one hits me up to go watch the Laker game. which I'm fine with. I don't want to do any of that. But that's something that 2-3 years ago, not clubbing, but people would hit me up to do random tasks like that. Just hang out, But now I think that I've kind of established this discipline and, business-driven reputation. People know that I don't want to do that. So it's not like I had to tell people one by one, like, oh, F off, I don't want to do this with you. Don't hit me up for that anymore. I feel like it's just something that...
Kind of with over time.
Yeah.
Stuff like that. Well, I want to bring this up because I know, and if it's okay with you, we share this. Mm-hmm. Back in the day, bro, you were huge on sports. Like, and I'm talking huge. Absolutely. Like, bro, you would know the players by their stats. Like, why did you change that? Because I knew there was part of you that actually enjoyed it.
Yeah.
But what was that shift, even mentally? Okay. What was it where you're like, you know what? Like, I kind of need to steer away from this if I want to actually take this serious.
I still like sports. I would just say I see through it now. Like, sports are entertaining. Don't get me wrong. Like, it's fun to watch. But what sports are at the end of the day is men love competition. We naturally have this competitive drive instilled in us. It's just some watch other men on the screen do it and some go out and do it themselves. Now, I'm not out in an MMA ring or on a football field, but both of us are building something for ourselves. And competition, being so caught up in sports as a 20-year-old man is like, come on, you're letting your emotions get tied up in what another man's doing, something that you have no control over. Like, bro, lock in, get your own shit together,
Yeah.
So there's a certain point where you just have to grow up and it gets kind of ridiculous. Like,
and some people never do.
Yeah.
Some people never do.
Like, something that I grew out of is wearing jerseys. Like, wearing another man's last name on your back is wild.
I was literally going to talk about that right now. I was going to say, hot take, if you're the type of man that wears another man's name on the back of your... Yeah. On your back, that's ridiculous.
No self-respect.
No self-respect. You should be wearing your own last name, wearing your name proud, building something for yourself.
Oh, but the player shaped me, bro. He influenced my life. I wouldn't be who I am without Kobe.
But I wouldn't be anything without Shaquille O'Neal.
No, I think there's athletes you could learn from. Like, Kobe was a big part of my childhood. Taught me pretty much work ethic, how to work hard. So I think there's a lot that can be taken and learned from sports. Just don't be consumed by them. I just think the idea of being like sad or letting your day get ruined by like how a sports game turned out, like something you have no control over, bro. Like, how ridiculous does that sound?
Bro, have you met people like that though, bro?
Yeah, for sure.
Like that genuinely are upset because their team lost the game. Like, seriously.
Oh, Luka missed the game-winning shot. My whole day is ruined.
Wait, Luka, man. Bro, ridiculous. No, yeah. Something I'd like to add to that.
And if you're watching this and you're that person, I'm glad you're pissed off.
Good. Yeah.
You deserve it.
Yeah, no, so I don't think I've ever been super, super huge on sports. I've enjoyed watching sports, but I've never got to the point where it's like I know the people's stats or like I know who's being traded. I don't really care about that. Sometimes I'll just watch it for entertainment purposes. Yeah. Back when I was a kid, I remember that the reason that I got into sports and at all in general was because one day Sam actually turned on the TV and the Lakers were playing. I think it was 2008, right? Is that the year we won a championship? Lakers? 2009. It was 2009. Yeah. The Celtics game. Yeah. Exactly. And I remember seeing, like, I think it was a game-winning shot. I don't remember. And we just all got hyped because it was Lakers. And ever since then, I became a Lakers fan. Yeah. But I didn't know who was on the team. I didn't really know, So, I mean, I never got so delved into the sports to the point where I let them consume me. But I did watch them for entertainment here and there. But that doesn't only just apply to sports. That also applies to shows. That also applies to movies. That also applies to current events.
Yeah, for sure.
I think that anything that is designed to entertain you is put there on purpose. Yeah. It's designed to entertain you. It's a distraction from the bigger cause. And that's, we can get deep into that, right? That's not only just to keep you distracted from doing something productive. That's also keeping you distracted from the things that actually matter around the world, which we won't dive in too deep to, but food for thought. So when we actually, I've always had the understanding that everything around us is made to entertain us and distract us from the true reality of what it is that we're trying to build.
I agree.
It's a competition upstream. We are salmon trying to go upstream against the current, against the wind. And it's never going to get easier if you surround yourself with people that are trying to drag you the wrong way. So,
yeah. We could go deeper into this, should I?
If you want to, bro.
Okay.
Go for it. I don't care.
I would go as far to say that everything in the entertainment industry, sports, music, pop culture, to an extent, is, and I don't want to get too much into religion yet, but is demonic. I'll say straight up, I'm a follower of Christ, and pretty much anything you see on TV, on music, sexual, explicit, it's
Perversion.
literally in direct opposition of what a follower of Christ should believe in. And that's one of the reasons I kind of fell into Christianity, because I wasn't necessarily raised Christian. I'd say my dad instilled Christian values in me for sure, but I kind of got more into it, especially recently, as I gotten older with the current state of the world and stuff. But like I said, one of the reasons I fell into it was just seeing how everything that is around us and that we consume is in direct opposition of it. So it's like, okay, this has to be true if this is what Hollywood's putting out,
100%. And that's a good point right there. I would say that that's one reason for anybody that doesn't, have any type of religious belief. If you're watching this is exactly what I would tell you. If you believe in science, Newton's third law, equal and opposite forces, you can see the evil that is around the world. And if there's evil, that means there is good. And if there's good, that means there's someone behind that good, whether it's God, universe, whatever you want to categorize it as. But when you realize that most of the things are tailored to evil and pushing you away from actual good values. Let's even take religion, strip it from religion. These are not values that you would want to instill on someone, whether you're kids, whether someone that you want to be a good person.
Just turn on the radio, bro.
Absolutely.
Sex, drugs, materialism.
Absolutely.
I listen to it, don't get me wrong.
100%. We all do.
We listen to Future, we listen to all of it.
Yeah, absolutely. Rio the Young OG, bro.
I mean, we see through it, and I feel like a lot of people don't. They just accept that lifestyle as what's normal, what's cool, pleasing the world.
100%. So,
yeah, it's sad, but I feel like that's the enemy's tactic is control and manipulation. And
the reality
of working.
It. And believe it or not, I think that's one of the reasons why we even started this, bro.
Yeah.
Although, this is going to take some time to actually get some traction. Masculinity is absolutely attacked, brutally attacked on a regular basis. We see it all around. Anybody that speaks up for men gets absolutely attacked. And we have two choices. The choices are we can comply and we can be like everybody else, or we can take the brave choice and stand up for what is right. And that's exactly what I think we are doing, even by this podcast. And something that's important, and we'll look back on this, and I'm sure we will. What you say is directly correlated to your insignificant. So the less people know you, the more freedom you have to say. You have to say whatever you want to say. You can say whatever you want as long as people don't know you. But as soon as you have some type of traction and some type of platform, now you kind of have to take care of what you're saying, or else you start facing all this backlash. And believe it or not, I think that's deeply connected to entrepreneurship. Believe it or not, bro. So what I'm getting to is people that actually start their own businesses, start their own venture, try to make money online, don't take the traditional route, are usually the people that have the most influence all around, right? But they're also usually the people that are against the opposition, which unfortunately leads to having to make choices in life. And some people just opt out to make the wrong choices.
Yeah. Well, let me push back on you with this, because you did say that as you grow, like the more people know you, you have to be careful what you say. But where I want to push back is look at these successful people, and I'm not advocating for or against any of these people. I'm just using them as an example. But people like Tate, people like Nick Fuentes, etc., that say these outlandish things, those people wouldn't be what they are without that. So how do you find the balance between being unfiltered or saying what you think is true, or being careful and respectful of what
Well, here's what I'm saying. I'm saying that if you want to continue to have the amount of influence without problems, you have to be careful with what you say. Like you mentioned, there are people that do not care about that, and they will say what they need to say unfiltered, but they face the consequences and the backlash that comes with it. So I'm not saying that you have to be careful with what you say. All I'm saying is that if you want to continue to have the platform that you do, you have to be careful with what you say. That doesn't necessarily, that's not saying that's the case. I'm not saying that's what I would do. I'm pointing out the obvious.
I'm saying that those people wouldn't have platforms if they weren't being unfiltered.
If they weren't like that,
like them.
That's exactly true. But I'm going to push back on that idea as well. I think that is even in and of itself getting outdated. Because how many people do you see doing outlandish things? And I'm talking about like crazy
Bro, Instagram reels are insane.
like I'm talking about crazy things, bro.
Yeah.
But what are they doing it for? For the content purpose? Are they doing it because they're trying to get the views? How outlandish do you have to be in order to get someone's attention? That's the question we're
pretty outlandish now, because these short form videos are getting more and more insane.
Absolutely, but there's gonna come a point. There's gonna be a tipping point.
Meta glasses changed the game, bro.
Absolutely, bro. Let's talk about that, bro. Dude, it's insane. Especially the people that have like the LED blocker, where you can't even tell if you're recording.
Like you don't even have to carry around a camera anymore, bro. Like they took trolling videos to the next level. Like
100%,
it's funny, but it's kind of scary at the same time. Like you never know when some jackass is filming you.
That's true. That's true. I will also say that, tying back to the point of how ridiculous do you have to be to gain attention?
Yeah.
There's gonna be a tipping point where that's not gonna work anymore because everybody's being ridiculous, right? So what becomes important after that, I think, is what people should look into, and I think that equal and opposite forces. Education is going to be the one that's going to take over after that, right? There's going to be a tipping point where everybody's doing outlandish things. Nobody cares anymore because everybody's pranking their grandma and no one cares. What comes after that? And I think that's educational. And I think people that are investing in themselves and teaching others a valuable skill are going to be in the long term. That's just my perspective. That's my opinion.
Yeah, I mean, I agree. I think the tables are always turning. Like we can look at the world from a political state, and not to state any personal political beliefs, but like in the Biden era, things were getting more and more out there as far as liberal, free, progressive ideas. And then I think a lot of people got fed up, and that's why a lot of the people that we named started to grow a lot of influence, because like traditional ideas became more popular again, drew a lot of people back in.
Yeah.
So that kind of content became very popular. You don't see as much of the progressive stuff anymore. Things are starting to slow down again. So the tables are always turning. Whether it's a good way or a bad way, everyone's going to agree and disagree on that. But
100%.
Tables are always turning. But going back to your point about things getting more and more ridiculous, that's where I think being authentic and, kind of neutral and grounded would come back in, because the outlier is always going to draw people back towards them. Then the outlier 100%. Will start to gain popularity, and then tables will turn again.
Attention is currency. So wherever the attention goes is where the energy flows, brother.
For sure. All right, let's kind of reel things back into our main topic. We got a little off track there, but it's all good. I love a naturally flowing conversation. So back to the topic of friends and the environment that you surround yourself with. How important is it to have people that not only push you, regardless of how brutally honest it might be, in the direction that you need pushing, and also people that challenge you and humble you?
100%. So I think that it's someone that I consider a friend, going back to that question, is somebody that's going to challenge me. Okay? I don't need yes men. I don't need people telling me, oh yeah, this is the right thing to do. No, I need people pushing me back. Why are you doing this? What's the end goal here? What are we trying to achieve here? Because if you have people that always agree with you, you're not growing. Yeah. At that point, you're just having someone, like you said, it's a yes man, someone that just agrees with you. I think that, especially in our dynamic, we push back on each other on terms of ideas of what we believe and what we do. I'm not afraid to tell you the truth, and I never will be afraid to tell you the truth, because I know that you will never take it the wrong way.
For sure.
As well as if you told me the truth, I wouldn't take it the wrong way. If you told me, yo, bro, I don't think you should be doing that, or I don't think you should be living this way, or I don't think that what you just did right there is something that aligns with what we believe in.
Yeah.
I respect that far more than anybody telling me that they agree with something that they don't. Yeah. And I think that's what separates the acquaintances from the friends, or for the people that you know to the friends, because real talk, you're never going to have a real friendship if you always agree with them about everything. That's just copy and paste. If you just have copy and paste people around you, you're going to have a copy and paste lifestyle. And again, you're not growing. Something I want to mention, I made a whole video about this, about how someone came up to me and called me a fat ass. Real talk. Someone that I knew that said, yo, bro, you are overweight. You look fat. And when back then, my estrogen levels were probably through the roof. I got offended. I was 275 pounds, and I was like, I'm not fat. I go look in the mirror. I look like a fucking tubby. That's not good, right? Yeah. But the fact that this person came up to me and was actually okay with putting our friendship on the line and saying, you know what, you are fat, bro. You need to fix something. for me, that not only skyrocketed my respect towards this person, but it also demonstrated to me that this person was authentic and would be authentic with anything else, right? So that led me to, you know what? Lock in. You need to do something different with your life. And I think that if you don't have those type of people around you, you're not going to grow. It's just the growth thing. You're not going to grow if you don't have any type of pushback, which is another reason why I don't want to speak for you, but I think you believe in this too, believe in bullying. Dude, and you can frame it differently from bullying, because bullying is a very derogatory term. You don't want to bully people.
I just call it brutally honest. But
brutally honest, yeah. But please, go ahead.
No, tying back, I was going to tie it back to morals. Like, according to our belief system, lying is one of the biggest sins of all. So, I mean, hurting someone's feelings by telling them the truth, like, based on their reaction, it might seem like you're doing a bad thing if they react badly, but lying would be one of the worst things you could do, like, morally. So,
absolutely,
even though they may not see it that way.
And believe it or not, bro, I've lost friendships because of that. Yeah. I won't say any names.
I know.
And you know who it is. And it's been multiple people where I've told them the truth. I've told them what they don't want to hear. But that bettered their life. Believe it or not, I see them now and they're doing way better than what they were doing before. Yeah. And honestly, if I had the opportunity to do the same thing 100 times, I would not change a thing. And I would tell them the exact same thing, because I would know that would make them a better person.
Yeah, I think if you really care about someone, then you'll choose them having a better life without you in it than them being mediocre or even bad forever with you in it,
Absolutely. Absolutely. And this guy knows I have absolutely zero filter when I talk to people. Yeah, I won't say any names, but there's someone that we see on a consistent basis that, he's pretty big, he's overweight. And every single time I see him is, bro, lock in. What are we doing? You need to hit the gym, bro. You need to figure something out, because every time I see you, it looks like we're not making any progress, right? What are we doing? And I will tell this person every single time I see them until I have seen that they actually made some type of respectable action to better their life, right?
Yeah.
So I think that brutal honesty, bullying, being brutally honest, however you want to frame it, is absolutely necessary to have true friends around you.
Yeah, and this is all men holding other men accountable, by the way. We're not referring to women when we're saying how we...
No, I will never speak from a woman's perspective, because I'm not a woman.
Yeah.
Okay, sure. I will speak from a man's perspective because I'm a man, and what I have experienced as a man. I don't have any notion on women and how they live, because I'm not a woman.
Well, I think it's still important to be honest with women. I'm not saying you should lie to them, but there's... the brutally honest approach might not work with them.
Probably not. No, probably not. This is like you said, it's going to be more accountability man to man. Brutally honesty only works with people that are going to take it the right way. Like I said, I'm not a woman.
Not necessarily, because it's worked with people that have gotten offended and
dropped
you from their lives.
Well, you know what? Yeah, you're right. Yeah, so I refrain from saying that. That's actually true. Yeah. I agree.
All right, so we're saying it's important to have people in your life that hold you accountable. Would you say it's important to have a mentor, whether it's one specific mentor or many people in your life that you look up to for certain different things?
Yes and no, depending on what your end goal is. If you want to do the exact same thing that someone has already done, then I think mentorship is super important. If you see someone living the exact same lifestyle that you want to live, I don't see what the downfall of having them as a mentor is. Now, you also have to take into consideration, there are some people that don't want to be mentors.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, there's some people that don't want to mentor you. As much as you're like, oh my gosh, bro, you have the exact same lifestyle that I want to live just like you. That doesn't mean that they want to teach you how to live their way. Maybe they don't want that around them. But the importance of mentorship, I think, is critical when you want to achieve something that they have already done.
Yeah.
For example, I'll give you an example. Let's say you want to build, I don't know, the best or the most known footwear business model there is, right? If you wanted to get there quickly, you would find the person that's leading the game right now, and you would try to make them your mentor so you can learn as much as possible from them.
Yeah.
Although eventually, sure, you would become competition, but you also have to understand that most of the time mentors are a lot older than you. They're not going to be in the game the same amount of time that you are, because by the time maybe they're retiring, maybe you're taking the tassel, keeping it going. So mentorship is important, but it's not 100% necessary. It's only necessary when you're trying to copy and paste something that someone's already done, in my opinion.
For sure.
What about you? What do you think?
Yeah, I mean, I think I need to ask, what is a mentor exactly? Because when I think of a mentor, I think of like a one-on-one thing where that person literally teaches you how to live your life. But is coaching considered a mentor?
It's a form of mentorship, yeah. Because for example, you did a lot of in-person training.
Yeah.
You were a coach to them.
Yeah, for sure.
To a degree, I would consider you a mentor for the fitness side.
Yeah.
Right. You were their mentor. They were your mentee. You were mentoring them to do the correct form, to do the correct exercise, so they can achieve a certain build. Right. So coaching, mentorship, I think is pretty similar, and that's how I see it.
Okay. Well, in that case, I think it's important. I've had a couple business coaches in my lifetime. I would like to say that this goes back to the friend thing. I wish we could find people to surround ourselves with, maybe a little older, that are kind of already more closer to where we want to be ultimately. Yeah. That's something that we've struggled to find here, where we live specifically, but it'll come with time.
It will. It will.
But I think the mentors I've invested in have been very helpful. Specifically, my coach for online fitness coaching, teaching me how to build an online fitness coaching business. Although it's not the illusion that a lot of mentors give you of, just sign on to my program and I'm going to make you a bunch of money right away. No, it's not that. But he did teach me how to build a perfect system, how to send DMs, how to generate leads, how to actually train a client from a computer, not being face-to-face with them in person. So I'm very grateful for that. That's something that probably would have took me years to learn, having not had the exact blueprint from someone that's already done it successfully. So I think it's important. It could cut a lot of mistakes, years worth of trial and error. So, if you have the money to invest in it, or even someone close to you that's already done it, that's willing to take you under their wing, I think it's absolutely worth it.
And I'm glad you brought that up, the whole time thing. It's like, whenever you find a mentor or someone that's a coach and they charge you a specific price, they're charging you for their experience and the time that they've invested into whatever it is that you're trying to learn.
Absolutely.
So you might look at it as like, oh my gosh, that's a huge investment. Why would I pay $10K to learn about FBA drop shipping? They're giving you literally the bypass of making all the mistakes that they made, cutting that out of the way. They're giving you the meat and potatoes so that you can actually get the unfiltered version, or the filtered version, I should say. They're skipping the unfiltered, giving you the filtered version, and giving you the highest ROI. Yeah. So they're saving you so much time. And sometimes a lot of people don't see that, right? They think that's like, oh my gosh, you're just charging me because you want to take my money. No, they're charging you for what they know, right? Yeah. They're charging you for the experience that they put into the industry. And a lot of people don't see that sometimes. And I think that's important. I'm glad you brought that up.
Yeah, and going back to what we talked about in the last episode, if you pay a pretty penny for it, you're going to take it serious.
100%.
Had that coach charge me $200 versus what he did charge me, I probably wouldn't have went to most of the meetings and wouldn't have taken it as serious. So
even your own personal investment would have been shifted.
Yeah, for sure.
So you literally made a video about that not too long ago where I said, if it doesn't cost you, you're not going to value it.
Absolutely.
So that's super important. You got to understand the cost and the opportunity you have by that cost.
Now, tying back into having courses, last year we bought a course on how to build a Christmas lights business. Yes. Like hanging up Christmas lights. The course was great, but you got to put in the work. So a lot of it, you could have all the information in the world, but if you don't take action with it, and we had our reasons, we were super busy building our own businesses at that time. That's also going to tie into something that I want to put out there. It's a lot better to put 100% effort into one thing than try to juggle 4 or 5 different things that you're putting 20% effort into. That's a lesson that we learned by buying that course.
Absolutely.
But the main point I wanted to make here is having a mentor isn't the end-all be-all. It's not going to solve all your problems. You have to apply all of that knowledge.
100%. And going back to the juggling thing, I think that's super important.
Very important, yeah.
Like you said, if you have 2 things that are super important to you, you can't give them 100% all the time.
Look, when you hear these millionaires and billionaires say you need to have 7, 8 streams of income, that's because those people already have millions of dollars worth of capital to invest. They're not talking to us.
Yeah, and something that a lot of people don't realize is that most of these millionaires/billionaires invested in one source of income to get those millions before they even branched out. Right, so they focused on building the actual tree trunk before branching out to different opportunities that made them even more money. So I think it's super important to have focus on one thing that is actually going to generate you a bunch of money. And then after you have that bunch of money, the capital, right? We talked about this in the last course. When you're first beginning and you don't have that money, you trade your time. But once you have that capital, now you invest in ads and bring the leads to you, which is the same thing. So making sure that your time is implemented into the right direction and not spread out into many different things ties not only to the future, but it also ties to protecting your time.
For sure.
I think that, you know, if you're spacing out your time into 5, 6 different outputs, and they're all doing mediocre or they're doing decent, that's not really going to take you too far. As opposed to if you're focusing on one thing that's actually working, and it might take a little bit longer, but it's actually going to give you the results that you're looking for in the long term.
For sure. I mean, Elon Musk has Tesla, SpaceX, Starlink, but he started with PayPal. I think that was his first.
PayPal was his
that
first.
Made him well known.
Yeah, that was what made him well known, and he invested years into that business before he sold it, and then actually ventured out to do something different.
Yeah, for sure.
So it takes time, dedication, bro. Yeah, and a lot of people have it wrong. And again, it kind of ties into the whole cultural thing and how we are placed in a position to see things from a very narrow scope, right? And we think that that's the end all be all, but there's a lot of surrounding factors around that. So,
I'm still struggling with that myself.
I think too. Me too.
I train I train clients in person. I train clients online. I have a meal prep business. There's still skills personally that I want to build in my life. I still work out myself, so still trying to figure out how to delegate those tasks. Although all those things in my life are working right now to a certain extent, you know, there's going to be a point where you have to cut some things off to take more of that and apply it to what's growing at a faster rate, you know?
Yeah.
So it's all about optimizing your time. You know, you can't let it leak into too many different places.
You can't. You have to have you have to feed one tree and then branch out.
So we talked a lot about friends in this video, and the main point of this video is how your environment shapes you. So let's put friends to the side. Aside from people, how do you build an environment that enables you to be successful? Matter of fact, put that to the side. How do you set up an environment that makes it impossible to fail? I think that's a better wording.
Bro, that's a fire question. Yeah, so of course, there's a lot of hacks that I can give that I personally use to...
Drop them.
You want me to drop them?
All
Perfect.
of them.
All of them. Okay, well, one of them I didn't...
Top 3.
Well, okay, well, I mentioned a few of them in the last one, but one of them that I think is so important, and it doesn't have to be in the morning, bro, but it can be any time during the day. Block out 2, 3, 4 hours where you can actually dial in.
Yeah.
And I'm talking about like uninterrupted work. No phone calls, no text, no phone, no reels, nothing. Just locked in your computer or your phone or whatever you use to actually get work done. And I think that has set me farther in life than anything else that I've done personally. Another thing that's productive for me, and this is a hot take, but I always have my phone on night mode all the time. I don't care. The reason I have it on night mode all the time is because I'm very prone to distractions. Like if my phone vibrates, I'm the type of person that's going to immediately check it just because that's the way that I've built my phone. But I'm always on my phone, so I know I have that in the back of my mind that I'm always going to have some type of notifications. But having the vibration on or like the actual notifications on has kind of steered me away. And let's say it's something like from Instagram, because I do have a lot of my leads and clients that are from Instagram, but sometimes I'll get a random notification like, oh, someone liked your post, right? So if I click on that, I'm more prone to getting distracted and start scrolling. So I rather have my phone on night mode all the time. I only have my top favorite people that I talk to on my favorites list. So if someone actually needs to call, has an emergency, they can get through right away. But anything outside of that, like I said, cut out any distraction that isn't gonna make you productive or make you money. This, like I said, today I had just downloaded a new app and I got a random notification from it, and I was pissed. I was like, why the hell? I'm like, bro, I was like, why am I getting notifications from this? This is stupid. So I absolutely turned the notifications off for that. So I would say that's number 2. Number 1 is blocking out time for me. Number 2 is blocking out unnecessary notifications. My phone is on night mode all the time. I don't care what anybody says. This works for me. It doesn't mean you have to do it, but it works for me. And I think number 3 is absolutely going to be caffeine. I literally was talking to Vinny about this morning. I'm literally close to 1 gram of caffeine per day, which again, I'm not recommending you do that, but it's something that helps me stay absolutely dialed for the entire day. So there was I want to talk about this experience before we move on. There was a moment in time where I was consuming nicotine, and not necessarily smoking it. It was more so like nicotine patches. And I know there's a lot of people that have addictive personalities and they get addicted right away. I can tell you, I did this for about 2 weeks. I didn't notice too much of a difference. It was kind of helpful. I was able to lock in a little bit more, but it wasn't a significant difference. So I just cut it off completely. That's just my personal experience. I'm the type of person that likes to try something, and if it works for me, great. If it doesn't, then take it off. So that's not something that I wanted to keep around, and that's something that I got addicted to either. So I guess it's a win-win.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
What about yourself? Talk to me.
Top three?
Top three productivity hacks.
Well, I kind of want to talk about when you look up productivity on social media, you're going to see a lot of morning routines, you know, the Ashton Halls of the world and all that.
The water.
Yeah, and I think that's bullshit.
Okay, I love that.
I think the best way to be productive is to make the gap of time between waking and getting to work as little as possible. Do the necessary things to allow yourself to wake up and turn your brain on. But if you need 2-3 hours just to get your day started, that's time wasted, you know?
And
I don't care if you're meditating, cold plunging, journaling, whatever. Like, if you need all that to get ready for the day, then that's bullshit.
I'm going to interrupt you here.
Mm-hmm.
I apologize. But something that has worked for me is to minimize, like you said, that friction from waking to working, is having kind of like the same wardrobe. So I have 3 pairs of jeans, 3 pairs of shirts, 2 pairs of shoes. That's it. Yeah. Of course, I'm not saying don't have nice clothes, because I do have those pair of clothes that are nice, the suits, the this, the that. But on my day-to-day basis, I have 3 pairs of jeans, 3 shirts, and 2 shoes. I can't go wrong with it, because in the morning, I don't have to spend hours looking to see what I'm going to wear. I'm literally...
the Einstein hack.
Exactly. I have 3 pairs of jeans, 3 shirts, and 2 shoes. What are you going to wear? Yeah.
That's a good
so
one.
It just makes it very simple, very quick, and easy to get ready for the day. And it's a very simple hack to get from waking to productivity very quickly.
I think sunlight in the morning is very important, and I've been learning more about the circadian rhythm lately. You'll sleep a lot better at night if you're exposed to the sun when it comes up. I don't know if you've looked into that at all, but it literally sets this clock in your brain that allows you to fall asleep at a certain time. And just the sun is the greatest source of energy in the world. It powers life.
Literally.
So, you know, why would you not start your day with the sun, with vitamin D? You're going to feel better.
I'll add that too. So the way that the brain is designed, it's designed to work as a human. And here's the problem. The LEDs do not help at all.
Oh, yeah,
so
artificial lights.
Artificial lights absolutely cook you. Something that I want to add specifically about the sun is when the sun sets, those natural colors that you see on the sky, they're not there to be pretty. They're very beautiful, don't get me wrong. But they're also designed to like the clock, to change your brain into it's nighttime, it's time to go to sleep. Because we're not nocturnal beings, we're freaking daytime creatures. So the early morning sun is absolutely fantastic. I think one thing that I like to do, especially if I have a little bit of time in the morning, quick 10-minute walk. That's never going to hurt me. Even if it's going to go check the mail, just getting outside, getting some air, getting some sun never hurts you. So I agree with that 100%.
Yeah. I think for my third productivity hack, I would say outsource what's necessary. I know when you're first starting a business, you might not have the capital yet. That's kind of hard to do. But things that take a lot of time on a day-to-day basis, like cooking, just find the most efficient but realistic way for you as possible to get it done. Like Costco has so many good options to get good protein in, bro, that you could literally just throw in the microwave. So
absolutely.
Just find the day-to-day tasks that are taking up a majority of your time and find a way to shrink them as much as possible so you could delegate more time to work.
Yeah, and something that I'm going to add to that is I don't go grocery shopping at all. I don't do that. I think it's the number one time waster to go sit there and grocery shop. Yeah. People are going to disagree with me. I don't care. This is just what works for me. I refuse to go to Costco during peak hours. I refuse to go to Costco in general. Yeah. I hate going to Costco. I just hate being around large crowds that aren't... Here's the thing. Here's the problem. I don't mind the crowds. I hate the fact that people lack urgency.
Yeah.
I hate that. And I think I'll tie this back to the whole generational thing. But people that lack urgency, bro, irk my soul. If you do not have some type of urgency, bro, whether it's in the gym, whether it's at the store, whether it's even people that drive. Well, you have people that drive like slugs. Yeah, sure. And it's like, dude, the speed limit is 55. Why are we going 30?
Yeah.
People that lack urgency, absolute time wasters, get away from them. If you have people that waste your time, that have zero urgency, get rid of them immediately. Bro, urgency is something that I look for in friendship, and I want to tie back to that. If you lack urgency, I cannot consider you a friend. I'm sorry. If you are a slug, get away from me.
Yeah, I think that's something that's very important to me as well. A lot of people might say that I take things too serious. Like I stress out, like, oh, we got to get this done. We're falling behind, this and that.
You have time, Eddie. It's fine.
Yeah, you need to relax.
Relax, man.
I get told those things all the time. But I think if I didn't have that mindset of, like, you should be stressed. One of my
100%.
This sounds harsh, but one of my favorite Alex Hormozy's quotes is, "You know who's not stressed? The
Dead people.
Yeah.
Dead people aren't stressed. They're dead."
Yeah. So
Yeah. Sorry.
It's a little extreme of an example, but if you're not stressed, you're not
at your
doing
potential.
enough.
You're
Yeah.
not at your potential. If you're not stressed, you're not at your potential. And I think that ties back to urgency. If you have zero urgency, that means you're not stressed. And if you're not stressed, that means you're not being productive. And if you're not being productive, then what are you doing?
Yeah.
Probably watching a movie on the couch with your friends. And I'm not doing that. So
All right, so wrapping everything up here, heading towards the end of the podcast, we talked about friends, we talked about our generation. A big topic in the entrepreneur space, specifically at the stage we're in, is the lonely chapter. Would you say that that's what we're in right now? And how are you handling it personally? The stage where you've kind of outgrown your old friends, but you're not quite at that level yet to meet new ones.
I think that you're one of the people that have helped me through that journey, bro. And I would like to say the same for you.
Yeah, for
Although
sure.
it is a lonely chapter, because yes, I'm not big enough to the point where I can have people that are way more successful than me be around me, having those people around me. But I just don't want to be around people that aren't taking life seriously. So we're right in the middle, bro. And I think that what's helped me the most is having someone else that's kind of in the similar journey, which is yourself, that not only pushes me, but helps me on a regular day-to-day basis to stay on track.
Yeah.
And I think that if I didn't have that, it would just be a lot harder. But I'm saying if there's someone out there that is in that lonely chapter, that doesn't have someone that is around them, that is on the same pace or same trajectory that they're going, I would say the number one thing you have to do is invest in yourself. That's the time where you need to invest in yourself the most. Because I think in the future, when you are able to have those friends that are on the same level as you, I think that you're going to miss that lonely chapter. You're going to miss that time where you had to yourself, where you're like, oh my gosh, like that was the come up. So that's me, bro. I mean, how about you, bro? Like, how do you think you handle that journey? How has it been for you? Would you say you're in that position right now?
I definitely think we're both in that stage right now. It would be cool to have people around to kind of look up to, learn from, maybe some people that are a little farther along than we are, like you said, but taking it down a notch, bro, it's hard to find people that are even at where we're at, that are just trying to build something in general. There's a lot of people that like the idea of entrepreneurship, but then when you ask them their day-to-day schedule, they've been at the same job for 4 or 5 years and aren't getting any motion. And it's not luck. It's not coincidence. You're just simply not doing enough. You're not taking it serious. You're not betting on yourself. So, I mean, yeah, it's just hard to find like-minded people, bro. I genuinely don't know if it's a location thing or an age thing, but I'm not saying I'm better than anyone else. It's just the mindset and the trajectory that I have. It's very hard to find like-minded people with this current stage of life. But I'm not sad about it. If anything, I'm happy that I don't have distractions, people hitting me up to do bullshit. But like I said, it would be nice to have more people to just bounce ideas off of and learn from,
Yeah, and I think there's an importance in having social groups online. I think that's the power of online as well. I wouldn't say that I'm super big on that either, or that I found a group that I'm like, oh yeah, I love this group and they motivate me on a regular basis. But just surrounding yourself with positivity and anybody that is like-minded, that's why I think it's like easy for us to follow motivational pages or listen to like people that are motivational in general.
Social media and even AI are so powerful, bro, because all the things we're talking about, the information, like you could get that and not ever meet a person face to face. But 100%. I mean, it's different to actually have a person there to give you feedback. But bro, like I think I talked to ChatGPT a dangerous amount.
Yeah.
Like not on no weirdo stuff, but just about business and how to get better,
And has it made you better?
Absolutely.
100%. So I don't even think, bro, that's fantastic. Dude, I do the same thing.
This thing has the answer to everything.
Yeah, literally. Yeah.
And people are asking it, oh, did the Dodgers win last night? Like, bro,
for real.
Fuck off.
For real. If I mix the blue color with the red color, will I get purple? Bro, fuck off. Like, what are we doing? Yeah, so again, it's more of a mental thing, bro. And I think that it's unfortunate, but it's true. The way that our society is built, unfortunately, is going to shape people into what they are today. Yeah. And we see that all the time. So unfortunately, that's just the way it is. But we need people like that. If we didn't have people like that, entrepreneurship wouldn't exist. Businesses wouldn't exist. So we need people like that. And it's as sad as it sounds, in order for there to be a shepherd, there needs to be sheep.
Yeah. Question, I know you talk to a lot of people,
Yes.
but you don't hang out with a lot of people.
Yes.
So like when you meet someone, you guys are cool, whatever, and they get to learn more about you, did they find you boring after a while, or what is it? Like, why do you not hang out with so many people? I mean, I don't either, but I don't talk to that many people. This guy's having conversations with people on a day-to-day basis, but...
Okay, so it ties back to the way that I'm built. I love the idea to talk to different people just because, for one, it's cool to meet new people.
Yeah,
I think that the ability of being able to just go up to a random person and just get to know them is absolutely cool.
Yeah, plus I think you can learn something from anyone.
Exactly. There's always something to learn.
Yeah.
But for me, I think the reason I don't hang out with these people is because I wouldn't want to live their life.
Yeah.
Like I look at their life, I get to know them a little bit, and it's like, I wouldn't want to be like you, so I'm probably not gonna hang out with you. That's just how I see it. That's how it's a pretty quick filter. It's like, would I want to live with you? Yes or no. Would you get me closer to my goal? Yes or no. Is this the type of person that I want to be in 5 years? Yes or no. And if the answer is no to all three, then I don't want to hang out with you.
Yeah.
It's simple. Now I'm not saying don't go on dates. I'm not saying don't hang out with people. I'm not saying that. But what I am saying is, unfortunately, you are who you surround yourself with. The top 5 people, they say it all the time. You become like the top 5 people you spend the most time with. And I think that's absolutely true. And if you're hanging around people that aren't productive, aren't doing shit with your life, that's just who you are, bro. Yeah. It's a very simple mechanism. I
think the ultimate question, and I found this from some book or something, I can't even remember, one of the 4 books that I've read in my life, but it says, look at who's around you. Analyze each person one by one. If they're bringing you closer to your goal, then they're a positive asset to your life. If they're drawing you away from your goal, they're a negative asset. And that doesn't even mean like you're getting anything out of them. Don't look at people as what can this person do for me. Just simply ask yourself, is this person a positive influence in my life or a negative influence?
100%.
I think that's a pretty simple way to look at it.
That's simple.
And I think we're both having hard times finding positive influences. But
100%.
It is what it is. We'll get there.
It's a season. It's a season, brother.
It is.
Well, we'll get through the season. And once we do, we'll enter a different season where we are surrounded by people that actually are where we want to. And who knows, bro? It might take some time before we actually see that. But that's okay. I think that the whole point is to eventually get there. And once we get there, learn as much as we can.
All right. I don't know how long this has been. I think it's been over an hour. So we should probably go ahead and wrap this up. Do you have any last words that you want to add?
Not at all. I think... just try to draw as much value as you can. These are just opinions at the end of the day. You have to draw your own conclusions. That's one thing that I will say. Always draw your own conclusions based on your own research. Yeah. Don't listen to anybody. Listen to yourself more than anything. And if you can trust yourself, you'll learn not to trust everybody else. So that's what I have to say.
Oh, here's a banger to close it out with. Look at the people around you. If they don't inspire you, you don't have a circle. You have a cage.